Welcome, everybody, to Between the Lines. Today, we are celebrating the start of our third year as a podcast. Happy anniversary,
Woohoo!
ladies.
Can you believe it?
We did it. We finished 2 seasons and they haven't kicked us off of the internet yet.
It was a close call a few times.
Right, there were a few times. We're all a year older. I'd like to say we're a year wiser, but I've found it best to keep expectations low. Then everyone's pleasantly surprised. It's been a super, super fun year. And last year when we started season 2, we kicked it off with a look back at what we had done in the previous year or years and just kind of celebrating it. So we're going to do that again today. We're going to look back at season 2. So we did over 25 episodes in season 2. I think it was 27. I meant to count before we started, but I forgot. So dozens of episodes. What was one of your favorite topics or episodes that we covered in season 2?
Oh, it's just so hard to narrow it down to one. For me, and I'm pretty sure that we all feel similarly. For me, the best part is just getting together with each of you and connecting with our listeners. And so it almost doesn't matter what the episode is because we get to just talk and laugh and be together. I think that if I look back, one of the ones that sticks in my memory is when we talked about traveling for research. And I don't know whether that's because of the actual subject or because Esther made this fabulous reel of all of the different places that she and each of us had gone to. And it was just so fun. It was just so fun to see how we've gone to those places and then integrated them into our books. So
that was a fun one. And Esther's like the queen when it comes to the reels.
Yeah.
I need to do a few more.
Well, we'll have to do more.
Yes.
So it is really hard to choose. I mean, we have had so much fun this past year, but I think the one that comes to mind, I think Esther may have led it, was the one on work-life balance, because I think a lot of people have struggled more with that in the last year or two after COVID and so many people working at home. And so it's always hard to just know, like, where do you draw the line versus, from work versus family life. And then you add the creative aspect of like, wait, I'm in the groove. I don't want to stop, Mm-hmm. So I think that was, it can be a bit of a challenge. So I think that was really a great topic to discuss.
Yeah, I didn't realize I led that one, but I'm like, I agree. So now I feel a little silly since I led that one.
I think you did.
I think I did now that you said that. But I just feel like it's a lesson I need over and over and over. And I'm like, we should probably do that again. Somebody else lead it and we'll get new ideas of how to have some sort of balance in your life. I also just loved Sarah's game episodes, our bonus episodes. Like those were just so fun. And honestly, I felt like the twinge of guilt of like Sarah has to do all the prep work for those. But that's probably a little bit also why they're so much fun, because I'm like, I just get to show up, have fun with my friends, record it. And like she's always coming up with just really clever ideas that are fun. So I've loved those.
I love that. Yeah, the games are fun for me too. And honestly, there's not actually a ton of prep. I try to pick games that are really, really easy to put together. I was reflecting back on like some of my favorites. I think an episode that really stuck with me was the one we did with Gaina Lynn. And I can't say there was any specific like thing that jumped out at me. It was just, and I think all of us felt this way. We walked away from that episode just feeling uplifted and encouraged. Like she had reached through the screen and just gave us all a big hug. And I remember that feeling, which I loved about that episode. So I think that was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Loved that one.
And as I was reflecting back on our season of the podcast, I also got to thinking, what were some of your favorite, maybe writing related or writing adjacent moments or accomplishments from this last year?
I think I'm going to mention 2, and they're totally unrelated. The first one was I loved taking Sarah and Tracy to Wales. It was so neat to be able to share my homeland with them. But listening to Tracy try to pronounce the place names, my word. Even now thinking about it, I start tearing up because it made me laugh so hard. I was driving and I
was repeating Google or Siri or somebody.
I was laughing so hard I was crying.
Sean,
was,
please tell me you have video footage of this. I'm like, I've got a real idea.
Not of that moment, no.
But we can describe it. We could probably reenact it. Roundabout though.
Yeah.
But so that was definitely one. And then I think completing another Viking book was, as far as my writing, a big accomplishment because that book was long and it didn't want to end.
So I feel like for me in my writing stuff, just recently, so I am like, I think some people are like schedulers and kind of know how they write. I'm still a little figuring it out as I go. So my sisters planned a writing retreat and it was a couple of days. I didn't have to cook. And I was starting a new story and the words just for the first time in a very long time, it was really fun. And I got so many words written and it was just so nice to just focus on just my writing for a couple of days. And I think one of the things that made it easier, it's actually inspired by, I would say, like a really old movie. And then we watched the movie at the retreat. And so it was so fun to like have people laughing at this film. And I'm like, see, isn't this amazing? It's not a very super well-known one. So it was fun to introduce it to some people. And it just was like a wonderful moment. So I really enjoyed that.
That's awesome. I think probably one of my favorite moments was when Sean, Sarah, and I were on our cookbook tour and we had a couple of extra days in Denver. We're sitting there, Sean and I were working on our next Falcon Point book and we're talking about what's happening and what should happen next and everything. And Sarah at one point was like, you're stressing me out because we don't know what's going to happen next. And Sarah's like Miss Planner. I think we may have had to send her to her room for a minute or two. But,
well, and it was made worse because we were also talking about how people were going to be killed. And so not only did we not know what was happening in the story, we were also eliminating people.
Yeah, so apparently that's not Sarah's happy place of just watching a story unfold in the kitchen with murder. So that was probably one of my funniest moments.
My jaw just dropped more and more the longer I listened. I just thought, how in the world do they write books that work so well? There is no plan. I don't understand this at all. It was
I used to think that I had a plan. I did think I had a plan until Sean informed me that I don't.
No, she has no plan.
What are friends for?
Yeah.
Now I know.
She barely even has a laundry list. I mean, it's just like...
Yeah. I admire your ability to do that, but just the thought is literally making me anxious right now.
This is why when I'm at Sarah's house, she gives me a little desk in the bedroom and says, you can have that space.
Stay away from me.
I don't want to hear what you're doing.
Haphazard drafting by yourself.
Yes.
It's like, don't talk. Just don't tell me what you're doing.
Oh, my word. Yeah, well, we're all very different, and yet we all write books. So I guess that tells you one size does not fit all.
Yeah.
This is true.
There's no right way to do it.
I think for me, probably a highlight of the year, I gave a keynote address in May to a conference of I think it was 750 people. And I was wearing really cute shoes, but they were shoes I hadn't worn before. And I'm not super steady on my feet. And all the way up to the little dice that I was given, I kept saying, don't fall on your face. Don't fall on your face. And I didn't. Is weirdly a highlight for me because I literally was afraid I was going to just biff it right there on the stage. So,
and you rocked that keynote.
Yeah,
too,
just for the record, you did a lot better than just not falling on your face.
Yes,
that was my goal. gosh. All right. Well, Esther says she enjoys our game episodes, which is a good thing because I'm going to play a game with you ladies right now.
Uh-oh.
I have given myself the job of being the keeper of out of context quotes. I have a notebook in which I write all of these quotes down. So our game is going to be, I'm going to read a quote and you ladies have to try and remember/guess who it was that said it. You're welcome. Okay, here's quote number 1. I don't want to be a disease.
Oh, I feel like I remember it. I think it's Sean. Is it Sean?
I think it might have been Sean. But
really? I have zero memory. So
like I remember the conversation vaguely and how funny that line was. But
I do too, but I can't remember who said it.
Yeah. All right. That was said by Tracy.
Great.
Oh, there we go.
This is at the very beginning of my notebook, which tells me it was probably actually season 1. So
yeah, that was. Right. I remember it happening in the booth.
Yep. Okay, so here is another quote. I'm the spicy one.
Oh, that was. I'm pretty sure
who
that
on this podcast is the spicy one.
I think it's Esther.
I think it must be Esther.
It might be me.
It was Esther.
I love that. It might be me.
I'm like, any one of us could have said that at some
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find another one. I've marked several. Okay, here's one. Writing doesn't fulfill me the same way cleaning the toilets does.
That was not me.
That sounds like Sean.
That was me.
That's Sean.
That was absolutely Sean. Which, in case you're wondering, he does not love.
My editor never hears that one.
All right. Okay, here's another one. There's a clue in here because someone gets mentioned. Sean's getting shot and I need a drink. It's been a strange day.
Either Sarah
Sean's
or Tracy.
Getting shot.
I'm guessing that was a COVID shot. I'm guessing that was a COVID shot.
Or our pictures. We took pictures that one day. I'm going to go with Sarah.
It could have been.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
So the need a drink does sound more like Sarah.
Yeah.
For the record, I am not a drinker.
I know, but I remember us having the conversation about you not being a drinker after the
exactly. I probably just needed a glass of water. I'm guessing that maybe it was the day we got pictures taken. I don't know. Okay, let's see. What else have I got that I haven't read yet? Okay, that was Sean's toilet quote.
That was such a good one.
All right.
Also, we all knew it was Sean.
All right, one more. What is this? The throw people under the bus episode?
Was that like on an episode? Did we say that? Or was that?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't write down the context. So
they're out of context.
I kind of wonder if that was me.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm thinking it may have been Sean. I could have seen you saying it, but I think it may.
I can also see.
I think,
yeah,
but I think it may have been Sean.
All right, that one was me.
Oh, that's so funny.
I can also see that being you.
Thrown under the bus.
Yes, I can see that.
There you go. But yeah, we have notebooks full of out of context quotes. We toss them up on our social media now and then. So if you're not following us there, hop on over and follow us because we like to have fun.
Yes.
All right. So my last question. Is there a topic that you would enjoy covering or covering again in season 3?
So I always love to hear about how everyone comes up with their great characters and secondary characters. So I think just, anything like that, seeing how our imaginations create these friends that become real to us is always a fun episode to me.
Fun. One I've been thinking of, and I don't know if we could convince the necessary people, but I think it could be fun to hear from our husbands what it's like to live with a writer. Because I suspect
that scares
me.
It might be the end of our podcast.
Or our marriages. I don't know.
I think more likely my marriage than podcast. No, I mean, like, my husband is like way more outgoing and stuff than I am, so he'd be an excellent podcaster. But it's not easy being married to an author. right?
No,
No.
I imagine it's worse
True.
than we even know.
That's
Probably.
probably true. Well, I'm still struggling with writing kissing scenes. So if Esther wants to give us another tutorial, I'm totally up for that.
I am always up for talking about kissing scenes. It's one of my favorite topics, apparently, especially when Sarah's with me, because then I get to watch her cringe. It's so much fun. But so for me, I feel like I don't have like an exact topic, but I just love hearing about how we deal with the ups and downs of this career. Like it's a very unique career that is emotionally draining in a lot of ways. And feel like I'm still learning how to deal with those emotions. So anything like that. I think we've done some things like it, but so I'll have to think of a topic and come up with it.
Yeah.
It's unique. Yeah.
No, I love that. And that's actually the question we want to toss out to listeners. What is a topic you would enjoy hearing about or hearing about again? Leave us a comment on our social media pages and let us know. We love getting suggestions from listeners. And if you're catching us on YouTube, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you again next time on Between the Lines.